Jennifer Lopez, A Study in Failure, canceled her summer tour because nobody wanted to go see her. And also her marriage to Ben Affleck began to fail.
Did you just call her a study in failure? That is f***ing hard. Jesus Christ.
We're Generation X, laughing at the world today. We're getting older, but we're still gonna play all day. Radio Labyrinth, our minds are a maze, navigating through the chaos of these modern days. Lost in the radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. If you celebrate, happy Hanukkah. If you don't celebrate Christmas and you do celebrate Hanukkah because it's the Hanukkah season, I think. Yeah, it started on Christmas or the day after. I don't know. I'm not good with math. It's really only 8 days, but I am dressed in this Christmas outfit because we had our Christmas show at work, the Von Hessler Doctrine, the radio show I'm on WSB in Atlanta. And so, yeah, that's why I'm wearing the Ralphie shirt. But, hey, thanks to our guest last week, Mr. Corey Feldman. I had a blast. I hope you guys liked him too, and I didn't dominate too much. I felt like I did, but hopefully you guys got to ask your question.
Yeah. Well, only one person dominated in that interview.
Yeah, that's true. That would be the interviewee.
Yeah.
Subject. But I thought he was great. I thought he was a lot of fun. And he was also, later on, he called back to the radio station and he appeared with me on the Popcast. And if you want to hear that, you can go find the podcast version of the Popcast with Tim Andrews on WSB. But this is the year-end episode of Radio Labyrinth, our 51st show. So I believe there was only 1 week this year that we didn't have an original show. And I think that was what, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving.
Wow. We'll have to see what we do on New Year's, but what we want to do this week is say goodbye to 2024, look forward to 2025, share some of the things that we all enjoyed. And, yeah, the 2024, it was just all election from the beginning of the year all the way until now. Still, people still talking politics all the time. We have a brand new social media platform called Bluesky, which isn't brand new, but it got a lot of push. And people are going over there in the entertainment world. Drones were everywhere this year, especially toward the end of the year. And let's see, what else happened? All sorts of awful stuff, but a lot of good stuff.
Is it pronounced Bluesky?
No, it's Blue Sky.
Okay.
But people derisively refer to it as Bluesky. And I'm on it. I don't know what my name is. I'd have to open it and tell you what it is.
What's going on there? What do they do there?
It's the guy that sold Twitter, right?
Well, he created Twitter, and then he went to Mastodon and created this platform. But he's kind of pushed out. He doesn't run it.
Oh, okay.
So what's the big deal about it?
It's a safe place.
It's just not a lot in Elon.
What'd you say, Dustin?
It's just not X. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's no news on it unless anyway, we don't need to get into it. It's what you think it is.
I'm not really sure.
It's a left-wing Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody got tired of dealing with each other, and so everything's polarized. But I'm staying with X because it's just easier. I'm not, I already have people following me, and I want to push the show and stuff like that. I don't really get into the news or talk politics on Twitter, and I haven't for 4 years now, so almost. Pretty good. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thought we'd kick off this week talking about some of the most, the biggest pop culture events of 2024, and this comes from Fortune magazine, which is online now, but you used to be able to buy it at the store.
Have you ever bought a Fortune magazine?
No. I think I got it for free once.
I don't know anybody who's ever bought a Fortune
rich people.
magazine.
I don't know rich people. If you go, you don't see it in trailers. And I used to live in a trailer, and we didn't have that. We had Star Magazine and People and Us and the National.
You had Misfortune magazine.
That's right. Misfortune.
No,
that's what I subscribed to.
We wondered what Christmas missed us for sure, man.
Soldiers of Misfortune magazine. Yeah,
I did buy Soldier of Fortune magazine.
Yeah, I did too when I was a kid.
And then I would go to the back and order that George Hayduke Revenge book. I had that.
Anarchist Cookbook. I have that.
I do have that, an old dog-eared copy of the Anarchist Cookbook. And what? Oh, those stupid books. There was our friend Elliot back in high school. This kid, he was really into all these books, these war books, and I can't remember the guy's name, but there was tons of them. The series of books. This one guy, he was like a mercenary, and you get them and you'd order them from the back of Reversal of Fortune, from Soldier of Fortune magazine. Reversal of Fortune magazine is all about Sonny.
It's Jeremy Irons' personal magazine.
Yes. Whatever Sonny wants, Sonny gets. Enough of that. So this is a month-by-month look at all the major pop culture events that took place in 2024. And as I was reading through it, I'm thinking to myself, I don't really know any of this shit. Some of it I do. We began it, and you guys jump in. I'm reading it off the screen, so jump in. January, there was a tweet from Elmo, who said he was just checking in. How is everything going? Not great, Elmo, not great, said one reply. And I don't know why that's such a big deal that a puppet tweeted something.
Sesame Street's canceled now.
I know it is, but not in January. They didn't know it then.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did.
That was Elmo's Cat Williams prediction.
What are you talking about? It's canceled.
It doesn't have a home.
Doing it anymore.
Yeah, there's no home for it. They should never have left PBS, but they did.
What? When did this happen?
This week it was announced.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get picked up by somebody. It'll, like Tubi or somebody will end up picking it up.
Tubi. Why doesn't it just go back to TBS or PBS?
I don't think PBS has enough money for it.
Yeah, it's not the same PBS anymore. No,
it isn't. And you know what? Sesame Street sucks. There's only certain parts of it I'll allow Gilbert to watch.
Why?
Because they don't teach you phonics and words and stuff anymore. It's just all about here's the food you should eat instead of meat. Okay. I mean, Steph might dig that.
Did they tell him not to smoke too?
No, they never did.
I don't think they have to do that anymore.
No, Big Bird wasn't smoking cigars with Oscar the Grouch.
What was another thing in January? Barbenheimer.
Yeah, Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen either of those films.
You didn't see Oppenheimer even?
Oppenheimer's good.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
Visually, it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't watch it on my phone. Maybe I'll watch it.
I'm kind of a meh on Oppenheimer. A little bit.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it deserved all the hoo-haws it got. And I don't think I really like what's-her-face. The one she's naked through the whole thing.
Florence Pugh.
The Pugh chick.
Yeah.
She gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pick her out of a lineup.
Well, it's like they try to put her up like she's this big sex symbol, and she's got kind of like those short fidget arms.
I don't know what he's called exactly, but thin fingers, not the fat sausage thing.
Little people, that's what they like.
Stop it. Yeah. Stop it. There's no she didn't have a torso. There's no torso.
She's just arms and hips.
Yeah, she was meant to be like a little bit of a fidgety sort of a type thing, I think, with little shorts.
See, here's the thing that this is the biggest moment in January, according to Fortune magazine, is that Lily Gladstone spoke in her native Blackfeet language when she won Best Actress at the Golden Globes for Killers of the Flower Moon. So I guess that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Did not win the Oscar.
It was good. She was great in that movie, though.
I still haven't seen that either. When am I going to see movies anymore?
Way too long, but yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, it's a Scorsese movie, right?
Yeah,
so of course
he's notorious for,
Ever since Casino, it's like everything's 6 hours long. You have to watch it. Just do TV, dude. What happened in February? Oh, yeah. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and Travis Kelce kissed his sweet little Tay-Tay on TV. That was nice. It was the month of Swift. She won a bunch of Grammys. She won Album of the Year for her 4th time, and she announced her new album. March, Billie Eilish sang at the Oscars, channeling Barbie, and we don't know what Ken is made for, but Oppenheimer, Ken, continued all the way to Oscar time, and the speculation is that it's going to happen again. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande will probably win some Oscars or at least get nominated and stuff. And, of course, in March, noted country performer Beyonce became the first African-American woman to top the Billboard country chart. So, congratulations to country artist Beyonce. What was it this week? Who said that it wasn't country? Oh, yeah, that nobody that had that one song about rich people north of Richmond. That ain't country. And that was it. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing it up, buddy. In April, let's see, there was that tennis movie that I'm never going to see. It's billed as a sweaty romance triangle starring
Challengers.
Challengers.
Zendaya, Mike Faced, and Josh O'Connor. Was it anybody see that movie?
I started watching it.
Yeah, any good?
Yeah. I think there's a wobbly H in there somewhere.
Yeah, just I don't know. It's like she looks so young to me. I have a hard time buying her in these super, super adult roles like that, where she's a married mother and blah, blah. You know, I just don't buy her as that yet.
I have a hard time buying her as a sex
so young.
symbol.
Oh, I think she's stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, her modeling, she's basically all the stylists want to dress her.
That's true. But I'm a Tay-Tay guy. And in April, she dropped The Tortured Poets Department, which was a fantastic record. I haven't stopped listening to it. Baby Reindeer premiered on Netflix, and I think most of us watched that. Disturbing, bizarre series.
Yes, that it was.
Yeah.
And then that chubby lady vanished back into obscurity. In May, let's see, it's Met Gala time, and that's where they started really pumping up Wicked. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are on the red carpet doing their whole thing. Jennifer Lopez, A Study in Failure, canceled her summer tour because nobody wanted to go see her, and also her marriage to Ben Affleck began to fail. When was the...
Did you just call her A Study in Failure? That is fucking hard. Jesus Christ.
Not wrong.
Well, this year, she canceled her tour, her album bombed, and she got divorced.
And so did her movie, the big Netflix movie, action movie of hers bombed.
Yeah. But I'm sure she'll bounce back in 2025.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck, dude, now he's going back to his second wife. Or third wife. I don't know. He's
First
back.
wife. Garner's his first wife.
Oh, so he married Garner, then he married J-Lo, or did he never marry J-Lo before?
He dated J-Lo, then he married Garner.
All right.
And then she married Mark Anthony.
Okay.
And they had those two little gremlin-looking children together.
And then Affleck found out about all the shit that she did with Diddy, and he's like, I'm out.
Yep.
I bet you he was been looking for an out from the moment he sobered up and saw he was married to her again.
And then she turned out to be an escaped convict that was traveling around on Eric Cartman's hand.
Taco flavored kisses for my bang.
We moved to June, and I believe that's when, or it might have been in July. I don't know which month it was, but there was a debate, like a pretend debate between the sitting president and the guy running for president. And that kind of forced Joe Biden out, which it became Brat Summer, Charlie XCX. She released her Brat album, and Brat went on to become Collins Dictionary's Word of the Year. So that's cool. That's what happened in June. I was going to ask, when did Club Shay Shay drop with Cat Williams? Was that in January or February?
I think it was February.
Yeah, because that wasn't even on here, and that's probably the biggest thing for us, our generation, at least that month.
That was the number one Google search. Google released its year-end most searched things, and Cat Williams' Club Shay Shay interview was like number one.
Of course.
Yep.
And then he went on Joe Rogan, and they were so high, it was like a slog. You have fun racing cars out there. That was fun. In July, it was the Olympics, and Celine Dion slayed singing, and then that goofy weird woman doing the break dancing. What was her name?
Oh, Reagan.
Reagan, yeah. So that became a bunch of fun memes.
Yeah. And the opening didn't help either.
No, no. The opening caused all sorts of craziness to go on. It was just a bunch of weirdos doing a weirdo thing that they always do at the Olympics, and then, of course, it became polarized. They're Satanists. They're gay Satanists doing trans gay stuff for Satan.
No, man, they're just French.
Yeah, just dial it down a little bit. Let the arty people do the arty things and stop trying to pick everything apart. It wasn't the Last Supper, or was it? That was also when we were introduced to demure and mindful, which are Steph's favorite words. Oasis announced a reunion tour, so if you have an awful lot of money, you can go see Oasis if you're interested. And, of course, it was official. Bennifer ended, and that was that. We roll into September. Chapel Roan withdrew from a music festival because she was scared of the fans. And she screams a lot and yells a lot and does a lot of stuff on.
She was scared of her own fans?
I guess so. X was temporarily suspended in Brazil because Elon Musk wouldn't bend to the judge that's the dictator of that country. And that's pretty much all that happened in September. Jeff and Steph had birthdays.
There was a school shooting on my birthday. Great.
October was Chalamet month as Dune 2 and Wonka came out. There was a lookalike contest in New York. And then the lookalike trend continued. Jeremy Allen White, Zayn Malik, all sorts of things. I don't understand any of that stuff. November, Maya Rudolph returns to SNL to do her kick-ass Kamala Harris. There's no one that she can't do. And, of course, we had Dana Carvey doing Joe Biden, his awesome Joe Biden. And then he failed, of course, at Elon. But that's okay. That's okay. And what else happened in November? Oh, yeah, Trump won the White House again. And then everything went back to normal. Nobody was.
Spoiler alert.
I know, but nobody was mad. Everybody's happy about it, and we're going to move forward. And then December finally rolls around. Wicked comes out, and everybody loves it, and it's going to win all the Oscars. Gladiator 2 comes out, and everybody loves it, and it might win some Oscars. Disney's Moana 2 comes out and bombs, I think. Did it? I don't know. But that's your pop culture wrap-up for 2024, courtesy of Fortune Magazine. So let's move on. Let's talk about some positive things that we all liked. I thought it would be fun to just keep it going, keep it positive. And I tried to find something for Casey to do, but I don't think Edward Kemper's birthday was anytime near. But didn't he kill all the sorority girls around Christmas?
No, it wasn't a specific holiday.
Oh, okay. But he was the inspiration for that great movie, Silent Night, Deadly Night, or something like that.
Was he?
I read something. I don't know.
He didn't dress up like Santa Claus.
No, he didn't. But he would have been perfect because he was a big fella. All right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think that even in Silent Night, Deadly Night, did the guy cut his mother's head off and then orally it with it. Yes.
Yay! All right. Let's see. Let's start with our favorite film, and this would be streaming or theater of 2024. Mine, I didn't see an awful lot of movies, so of all the movies that were released in 2024, my favorite to watch was Saturday Night, directed by Jason Reitman. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
I got over my historical accuracy persnickettiness, but it was a good movie, and it really got me in a SNL deep dive.
Mine was Deadpool and Wolverine. I went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I still need to see that. I might watch that this week.
Yeah, mine was Unfrosted. I don't care what anybody says. I love that movie. I've watched it 6 times already.
Wow.
I just really enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I really hope other people enjoy it as much as you did. Please write a review and go to Rotten Tomatoes and get the score up because it's low. It's low everywhere, but I don't care. Jim Gaffigan, everybody was great. Even Amy Schumer.
I love it. I don't get it. I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't either. I think it's fucking great. It's funny, and people who hate it just don't like Jerry. That's why they don't like it.
Has to be.
Let's see, my favorite film of the year was Long Legs by Osgood Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Silence of the Lambs, heavily influenced, very visually, beautifully shot movie, but it's horrific. And and his get up in that is probably one of the Nicolas Cage's scariest looks he's ever had, because no one wants to see Nicolas Cage as elementary school lunch lady, and that's what he looks like.
Yeah, isn't he like a Leatherface lunch lady?
Yeah, he wears a bodysuit. Yeah, he's like if Buffalo Bill succeeded to, and it was like 5 years later.
Hey, you want praise for that?
Well, didn't we call that? We called that number, didn't we? We listened to the voicemail.
Oh yeah, we had the voicemail on here.
That was creepy. All right, now I had to make a change to mine because I'm a dope and I forgot about something. But the favorite television series of 2024, and again, this could be streaming or something that was on network or cable. And I initially put Fallout, and then I remembered, oh, you idiot, you love the Penguin more than anything, so that's also mine. And I know it's someone else's, but we can pick more than one because this isn't staff picks. This is our favorite. So yeah, definitely Penguin is tops for me in 2024.
Mine's Creature Commandos. So fucking good. You guys watching it yet?
I am going to.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, Neil's watched. He's kept right up with it. He keeps going off about it.
Yeah.
Mine was initially going to be Fallout, and that's all that Tim got it. But Fallout and Three Body Problem that was on Netflix, really good sci-fi series.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Fallout was one of my favorites, but it really boiled down to Penguin, and then the Penguin, and then I thought, well, we can pick the same shows. It doesn't matter. Steph, you don't.
Oh yeah. Well, I would pick. I would almost pick them equally, almost Penguin and Fallout, and because Last of Us was last year.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
So
Part 2 is coming out next year. And this was tough for me. This next category, favorite documentary of 2024. Mine was Mr. McMahon, because much like the SNL movie that sent me into a deep dive of Saturday Night Live, Mr. McMahon on Netflix had me listening to reaction podcasts. I started listening to Jim Cornette's podcast and his reaction and all the reaction podcasts. And so for me, it was a great documentary.
Mine was Will and Harper on Netflix.
What was that about?
The guy that was a writer for Saturday Night Live transitioned from a man to a woman, and then he wasn't sure how people were going to react to it, so him and Will Ferrell did a cross-country road trip. Or her and Will Ferrell, I guess, now did a cross-country road trip just to get people's reactions. It was really good.
Stop at gas stations and stuff?
Yeah, and bars. Like stuff that when he was a man he would do all the time. But he hadn't done it since he transitioned, and he wasn't sure how people were going to react.
Yeah, I hope people were cool to him.
Yeah, people were pretty cool.
Oh, mine is just very recent, but I thought about the other documentaries I've seen this year, and I just loved this one the most. Was the Music Box Yacht Rock documentary. I thought that was my favorite of all year.
It was really good.
Yeah, lots of Michael McDonald.
It just sent me, not like I don't always listen to Yacht Rock, a little bit here and there always, but I really stayed on it for several days.
Nice.
Mine was Superman, the Christopher Reeve story documentary.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was really good, really heart-wrenching. And it kind of got me interested, and then with the new Superman coming out, it's kind of got me excited for DC coming up the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trailer for that looks good, or what they put out. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it does look good.
Our favorite stand-up specials of 2024. There were a lot of them that were really, really funny this year, but my favorite is Adam Sandler's Love You, which is on Netflix.
Mine was Anthony Jeselnik's most recent one. So good.
Bones and All. Where is that?
Netflix.
Yeah, I would have picked that. You had already picked it, so I went with Rory Scovel, Religion, Sex, and a Few Things in Between. That's a really good one.
And mine was Hot Cross Buns, Dave Attell at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That one was great.
Yeah.
It was also great to see it live.
Played the flute at the end.
Yeah.
A recorder. Yeah.
Recorder. Doo-doo-doo-doo. This was a hard one for me. Favorite audiobook of 2024, because I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I was going to choose Dungeon Crawler Carl, but that book didn't come out in 2024, but it doesn't matter. That was really the best listen I've had in forever. But my favorite book that I listened to, just based on the content, was The Six Pack: On the Open Road in Search of WrestleMania by Brad Baluchian. And that's part of my whole year of diving back into old wrestling and listening to that book, and a lot of these sad sacks like the Iron Sheik and other people, Tony Atlas, these guys that just are constantly work themselves to death. It was a very touching and interesting story.
Mine's The Chronicle of Ludwig. 2 books, both came out in 2024. They're really good. It's like a fantasy story, dragons and shit.
Nice.
I'd love to see the Love, Death, and Robots and the secret level people get a hold of this and make it into a TV series or a movie.
Oh, mine is Tim's, even though I haven't yet to download or listen to
I
it.
downloaded it. I'm saving it for my trip.
I am sure it will be my favorite.
You think?
I'm positive.
Just because I read it?
I have no doubt.
Only one person has listened to it on this panel. Did you finish it, Dustin?
No.
You don't like it, do you?
Yeah. I didn't finish it because I hate it. That's why I didn't finish it.
The name of the book is Selfies, the Manifold Series, book 1 by my cousin Scott A. Young. And I know you don't hate it. You already told me that you like the story. So I'm just joking around.
Let's see. Mine is, it would have been Dungeon Crawler Carl, but you're right. It didn't come out this year. He did have one that came out this year, but I haven't gotten there yet. I think it's 7. This year, it would be Dennis E. Taylor's Not Till We Are Lost. It's the most recent Bobiverse book that came out in September. That was really good.
Cool. My favorite overall podcast of 2024 was the Harlan Highway. Jeff got me into that over a year and a half ago, and I just absolutely love the nonsense, and I love how he interacts with his guests, and I look forward to it every week. So that's mine.
I like Daniel Tosh's show that he's doing on YouTube now.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah. He just has like weird people come on, people from his life, and he talks to them.
Like his garbage man.
Yeah.
Mine, obviously I listen to Tim Dillon all the time, but, that's a several year favoriting. But of 2024, it's got to be Kill List.
Kill List. I like that one. I love
it. I love it. And I can't wait for every week for they unlock the next episode because I'm too cheap to pay for it. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, and every story is so different, and I just really love it.
Let's see, my favorite podcast of 2024 would be, I think it would be Dudesy, R.I.P.
I might have picked that one, but they ended it. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for what it was such a great idea, but man, did they shoot themselves in the foot.
They did. And that'll be what I talk about in a minute here. But they did shoot themselves in the foot, and then they stopped doing all the things that people liked about it. Some things that they liked about it. And I hope they get back together and do some other stuff. But who knows? Because I don't see much of Chad except for Instagram.
I know Will's working. He's had that series in Canada that came out.
Young Sheldon show, too. The new Young Sheldon show.
He is a professional actor by trade.
Which is great. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite overall podcast episode of 2024, speaking of Dudesy, was the special George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead, which I don't think you can find anywhere. Maybe you can. But it was a complete AI stand-up special that I believe they wrote. I don't think AI wrote those jokes. They were too good. It sort of sounded like Carlin, but what happened is it created a huge backlash. I think they got sued. They stopped doing AI stuff after that, pretty much, when it came to celebrities. I didn't have the hate or vitriol about it. I don't think Carlin would have cared. But their goal was to draw attention to AI as a thing, more so than it was to make money off the corpse of Carlin, because they didn't really make any money off of it. But it's an interesting slice of history, because we don't know what's going to happen with AI. And hopefully that's a warning.
Mine was this show called Radio Labyrinth. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Never heard of it.
They had this guy, Kamal Grant, who owns Sublime Donuts on.
Yeah.
And then he went on and made all the donuts that they talked about on the episode.
Right.
You guys should check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's also my favorite.
In reality, that's mine too, because those donuts were awesome.
And my favorite was Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay, because God, did it leave so much more for the rest of the year to follow up on.
Thank you, sir. What were yours? If you have a favorite, anything that we talked about, leave a comment on our YouTube page and we'll read it in 2025. Let us know. It's just so simple to go down and say, hey, I like this, or don't tell us what you hated. Just tell us what you liked. I wish Ira were here because he's the one that always used to say, who died?
Yeah, who died?
Who died? If you don't know who Ira is, he was one of the original members of this show going way back to when we started this in 2016. He's still around. I wished him happy Hanukkah, and he texted me back and said, I'm an American, you prick. Merry Christmas. But yeah, we're gonna buzz through this list of all the pop culture celebrities and famous people that passed away, left us this year. We'll do it in chronological order, by the way. The beginning, on January 4th, we lost David Soul at the age of 80. And even if you think you don't know David Soul, you do, because you know that song, Don't Give Up on Us, Baby. That song. Also Starsky and Hutch. And the original miniseries, the scary one, not the dumb one, the original scary one of Salem's Lot. And then I'm sure a bunch of other things, if I'm leaving anything out. And by the way, jump in on these things. We lost Charles Osgood in January. He was 91 years old. He passed away on January 23rd. He was the voice of CBS Sunday Morning for years and years and years until he retired and committed autoerotic asphyxiation. Norm Macdonald. Which you can't...
I'll miss the sex.
Yes. And I had sex with her. Maybe I'll be fishing in Montana, teasing a trout, or something called autoerotic asphyxiation, which a little thing I was turned on to by Eric Severide. Rest in peace, Charles Osgood. In February, we lost on the 1st, Carl Weathers, who, everybody knew as Apollo. And then, of course, he was in, what was he in that made him so, Predator. And, of course, in Happy Gilmore, he was Chubbs. Rest in peace, Chubbs. Oh, and most recently, everybody loved him in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like me now? I'm dead. Toby Keith passed away at 62 on February 4th. He was a country singer who sang fun songs, and then he got real political in the early 2000s with the boot in your ass stuff, and then he chilled out a little bit and went back to singing about fun stuff. But he did pass away. He was very much a philanthropist, and a lot of people appreciate all he did. And, that's just the way country was back in the early 2000s before Beyonce came back on the scene and made it what it really is. Also in February, we lost one of the most iconic comedians of the modern era, and that, of course, would be Richard Lewis, who passed away at the age of 76. Richard Lewis, stand-up comedian, actor. He was an alcoholic and a drug user. He beat all of that, and he had a really good third act, being on Curb Your Enthusiasm and going around and doing stand-up. And I was just listening to his episode of Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast, just re-listening to it. And he has this funny thing where he goes, I go to these radio stations and I walk in and I leave and I'm like, who the fuck were they? I don't know who they are. And I don't do a great impression of them, but it doesn't matter. And he goes, I don't know who the fuck they are. He goes, but I'm on when I'm in there and then I leave. But that was really, really sad to lose him. But he was really, 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 really funny and a nice guy. I met him several times. And because he decided not to go to Darien Lake, I got to go, or Canandaigua, wherever it was, I got to go see Dana Carvey and meet him with Jeff and his mom and his brother. Well, his wife is all by herself now. On March 11th, we lost Eric Cartman. Eric Cartman, all by myself. Also in the Raspberries, I believe they sang Go All the Way, right?
Go All the Way? Sure.
Go all the way. I think, didn't he also sing Hungry Eyes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
All right, look out. I died on April 9th of this year. And let me tell you, it was the best death I ever had. And now that I'm in heaven, I can talk to Nicole and Ron and tell them that I've been working my ass off trying to find the real killer.
He knows now who the real killer is, now that he's dead.
Yeah, I know now. I know everything. And if I could find a way to tell everybody, I'm just saying. Hello, Afterworld. O.J. Simpson passed away at the age of 76. Probably the best runner the Buffalo Bills had ever had, and what a great actor in all those wonderful movies he was in. Capricorn 1, Naked Gun, 1, 2, and 3. And unfortunately, he will not be able to see the upcoming reboot of The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. We lost Dickie Betts in 1980 from the Allman Brothers Band. Dickie Betts really was essential in shaping their sound as well as a lot of other Southern rock artists.
He was 80 years old.
What did I say?
In 1980.
Okay, yeah, he was a 1,980 years old. Songs like Ramblin' Man, but Dickie Betts, rest in peace. I forgot this one. Yeah, Steve Albini passed away, 61 years old. A controversial fella, but he did shape a lot of that alternative music that we grew up listening to. Bands like Nirvana, the Pixies, all those bands and stuff were really, Steve Albini was one of those guys. He was in a band I can't say the name of. It was S.A. Man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I just Googled it. Anyway, he was 61 and he passed away on May 7th. Another legend of music, David Sanborn, who's, I think wasn't he one of those like, new age jazzy dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The smooth jazz.
I mostly know him from sitting in on Letterman every now and then. Me too.
Yeah, that's how I know him. He was 78 years old. He passed away in May. Morgan Spurlock. Some of these are the ones like, oh shit, I better stop doing this. Morgan Spurlock. He passed away at the age of 53 in May on the 23rd. Everybody knows Super Size Me, the documentary that he made, and he continued to do all sorts of fun stuff on TV. What did he die of? Do you remember?
Some kind of cancer, I think.
I thought it was liver. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. Bill Walton, NBA legend. He was a great player. He was great in college. He was in the Olympics where he lost to the Russians, but that wasn't his fault because it's a team sport. He was also a commentator, but he was one of the biggest deadheads around, and he followed the Grateful Dead. Our buddy Stu took his son, I think, out to San Francisco and actually got to meet and hang out with Bill Walton, so that's pretty cool. Another NBA legend, the logo of the NBA himself, Jerry West, passed away at the age of 86. He died in June. Portrayed, I don't know, in a weird way on that show. What was that show called? Yeah, there we go. Winning Time. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. It was an entertaining show. Sports legend, baseball legend, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, passed away on June 18th of 2024. He was 93 years old. Legendary over-the-shoulder catch, World Series stuff. Willie Mays was a cool dude. And I'm not talking about Willie Mays Hayes. Donald Sutherland passed away at the age of 88 from MASH all the way up to the Hunger Games. He was a prolific actor. He's really good in Animal House. It might. And then he gave us his son, who's also a good actor, but always ends up being president or something. Martin Mull, a comedic legend, passed away on June 27th. Martin Mull, 80 years old. And if I'm, jump in here, guys, if you want to talk about some of these things. Martin Mull, Fernwood Tonight, I guess, is when people first started seeing him, but he did so many things, movies, Clue, My Bodyguard. Was he in Mr. Mom? Yeah, he was in Mr. Mom. He's the boy.
I liked him as the boss on Roseanne.
Yeah, that's right. He was married. That was one of the first series to have a gay couple, right? Because he played a gay man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the diner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great in a few times. Stupid Gesture, too.
Yes, he was.
The old Doug Kenny.
Mm-hmm. Martin Mull. All these legends. Dr. Ruth Westheimer passed away on July 12th. She came into stardom in the 80s as a sex expert, a pioneer of sex education. She's 96 years old. She broke all those sexual taboos, and then she started going on all the talk shows, and that's how she became famous.
I would have said she was 96 in the 80s.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I would have said she died 10 years ago.
Right.
You can have a healthy sex life all the way up to the end of your days.
jokes.
Another young one that makes me nervous. Shannon Doherty, 53 years old. She passed away on July 13th. Beverly Hills 90210, Charmed were her two big series.
Mallrats.
Mallrats, for sure. Absolutely. Tabloid fodder for a long time, and then people sort of backed off once she was diagnosed with cancer, which she fought for a very long time.
Yeah.
On July 13th, we also lost Richard Simmons, the fitness icon, who I guess everybody really started knowing who he was because he was the dietitian at General Hospital on ABC. And then he got his own kind of daytime talk show, workout show. And if you listen to Howard Stern for a long time in the late 80s and early 90s, he was fodder for Howard Stern jokes. And then he sort of disappeared. There was a podcast either last year or the year before, right? Where's Richard Simmons? That was a good podcast. But no one knew he was sick. And he just, he wanted to, he was the kind of guy everybody knew.
He tried to announce it and then he had to roll it back. I guess his people made him take it back.
Yeah.
But then he died of that concussion. He fell and then didn't go to the hospital on his birthday because it was his birthday. He didn't want to go to the hospital, and they found him the next morning.
Aww.
Yeah, go to the hospital if you fall down and hit your head, especially when you're 76 years old. Also, he was great on Letterman.
Yeah.
He wore those short shorts, but Letterman was good to him. Lou Dobbs, the news guy, started out on CNN, ended up on Fox. 78 years old, passed away on the 18th. Comedic legend, television, stand-up. Bob Newhart inspired so many people. We grew up watching him. We first had what was the name? The Bob Newhart Show, and then Newhart.
The Rescuers.
The Rescuers. Stand-up album. Bob Newhart.
Down Mine, yeah.
Yeah, the button down
on
line.
Telephone. Yeah.
The telephone bit. 94 years old, passed away in July 18th. Phil Donahue died at the age of 88 on the 18th. Phil Donahue, the first really big syndicated daytime talk show where he introduced us to freaks. Sometimes he'd have normal people on, but usually it was freaks. Sometimes famous people, but usually it was freaks. And, of course, Phil Hartman did the best impression of Phil Donahue. And then Phil went on MSNBC and got fired because he said he was opposed to the Iraq War. And they said, see you later. You're not a neocon. Get the fuck out of here, you liberal. All right. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, and so many roles, so many films. That deep voice. Darth Vader. My goodness. He passed away at the age of 93 in September. Chad McQueen, who I only knew really from The Karate Kid, but was also a regular. He was 63 years old. The son of Steve McQueen passed away on 9/11/2024, and I'm never going to get over it.
You'll remember it forever now.
I know.
Because it was September 11th.
That's right. Tito Jackson, 70 years old, Michael Jackson's brother. Well, the brother of all of them, actually. He passed away on September 15th, and I really don't know much about him, other than he was in the Jackson 5, and there's that funny joke that Eddie Murphy did when he was doing Michael Jackson.
Give me a tissue.
Tito, give me a tissue. Dame Maggie Smith died. She was 89 years old. She passed away in September. Downton Abbey and Harry Potter, but she was way much more than that. And she was friends with like Ian McKellen, and a whole bunch of actors from that group that came out of England at the same time. Mr. Potter. This one really hit home. Can't do him. Chris Christopherson died. He was 88 years old. He passed away on September 28th. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of roles, from Blade going all the way back to A Star is Born. Also, he was in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is a Martin Scorsese film, I think with Ellen Burstyn. That was the inspiration for the Alice sitcom. And let's see, Diane Lane. Yeah, Diane Lane. Convoy, with L.A. McGraw. That's a good movie. I love Convoy.
It is a good movie. It's a good song.
I know. C.W. McCaw. But Diane Lane played Flo. And then she came on this series and played Belle. And Vic Tayback actually played Mel in the movie. and the show.
Okay,
I know an awful lot.
Real quick, I wanted to see, Steph, what's your shaving routine?
What?
Steph's got that fucking beard and mustache turned on.
Why do you have that on? Are you bored talking about dead people?
I mean, it needs to be done.
Yeah. No one's really doing it anymore now that Gilbert's not around to do his. He and Frank always did the best one.
Just a lot of people died.
Oh, he was funny. He wrote Me and Bobby McGee.
He did write Me and Bobby McGee and Sunday Morning Coming Down.
And Pete Rose died. He was 83.
He passed away on September 30th. Charlie Hustle, one of baseball's greatest hitters. He has a record that'll never be broken, which is the most hits by any one person in a career. And a couple of World Series rings, out there all the time. Oh, yeah, he gambled on baseball and got kicked out, and they wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully they'll put him in now.
My mom died on October 10th.
Did she have a brainworm?
No, she got the COVID vaccine, and that killed her.
She was 96 years old. Baseball pitcher, noted youngster, one of the youngest pitchers to ever win a bunch of games. Fernando Valenzuela, 63 years old. He died right before right during the World Series. He was a Mexican baseball star, captured the world attention with his skill. He would always roll his eyes when he was pitching. He would turn his head and roll his eyes and not look at the plate or the glove, but somehow managed to throw a strike. Phil Lesh passed away at the age of 84 on October 25th. He was a founding member of the Grateful Dead. He had some great bass lines, and his improvisational spirit defined a generation of jam band music and all sorts of artists. Everybody loved Phil Lesh and respected him. He had some health problems, 25 years ago or so, but he managed to deal with those and make it to a ripe old age. 84 is a good age. And Jeff and I met him, got a book signed by him. Terry Garr, beloved Terry Garr, passed away at 79 on October 29th. Young Frankenstein, Tootsie, Mr. Mom, great talk show guest, especially on David Letterman, and tons of movies. And you can see her right now. I just saw her in something I didn't know she was in, the Sonny and Cher 1974 Christmas special. Don't watch it. It's terrible. At the age of 91, Quincy Jones passed away on November 3rd. Quincy Jones, everybody knows who that is. He did the theme song for Sanford and Son, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he produced Thriller and tons of other things. Candyman, knocked 3 times. Tony Todd died. He's 69 years old when he passed away on November 6th. Horror icon, but an overall good actor. And last but not least, not everybody's going to know who this is, but Slim Dunlap died. He was 73 years old on December 8th. He was a guitarist for The Replacements. He replaced Bob Stinson, who was one of the founding members of The Replacements. But he had a different kind of sound. It was pretty raw. And his solo albums were just filled with great songs that he wrote himself. He was a cult favorite. A lot of people loved him. Springsteen, a lot of these artists that you wouldn't think would know who he was really appreciated his music. And so that's it. I mean, a lot of people died in 2024, but those are the ones we talked about. Sorry, Steph.
No, I just wish you would have said how they died, like in that one I Think You Should Leave sketch. You know, it was like Tiny Dinky Daffy, throat slashed. We would just know how.
They all died by having their throats slashed.
No, one of them was pancaked by a dump truck, remember?
Yes. All right. Yeah, we do need to liven it up. But hey, no one else is really doing this anymore, right? Our generation needs this. We need to talk about this because now Steph mentioned this about 4 or 5 years ago, and I think it was even before the pandemic. Everybody that we grew up loving is dying, which means we're next. Yeah. But I want to be happy and
I'm counting on it.
I know you are. You're like, fucking asteroid hit the Earth. All right. So on that happy note, let's talk before we wrap up about the one thing that we're really looking forward to in 2025 pop culture wise. Mine is Dexter. There's a lot, but I'm really looking forward to Dexter Resurrection. And that has a lot to do with me rediscovering the later seasons of the series. And of course, the new prequel type of series.
Mine is the Fantastic Four movie hitting Marvel. I'm hoping it will kind of reinvigorate Marvel's MCU.
That would be nice
to be watchable again. So we'll see, but I'm excited for that.
Mine's the 50th anniversary special for Saturday Night Live. I think it's going to be in February.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's going to come back.
That'll be cool.
Mine is the next season of The Last of Us.
Yeah. See, that's one of those things like, maybe I should have chose that.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I bet you it's going to be sad, though.
Oh, yeah. It will be.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
Will it be sadder than reading a list of everyone who died this year?
I don't know. I do not know.
Tell us what you're looking forward to in 2025 in the comments on our YouTube video. Hey, we want to thank you guys for listening to us all year long. Welcome all the new people and the people who have stayed with us. We had more growth this year than we've ever had. And we owe that quite a bit to Dustin and his ability to make this into an entertaining show that you can watch. All the great clips and all the great graphics and stuff and you know, the stuff that we talk about. And we tried a lot of different things this year, and you know, you throw it out there, and like if 1,000 people watch it and 10 of them stick with you, then the next week a different 1,000 people look, and then 10 or 12 or 15 stay with you. But we have had so much growth, and I want to thank Dustin for that, and thank everybody on the show for your contributions, and even Jeff, who doesn't do anything. I'm just kidding.
I want to thank Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we do want to. I'm kidding about that, by the way, Jeff. And thank you to Joe Rogan, who helped us get, and Cat Williams, and all these people that we put on our artwork. But I'm excited and want to continue doing the show, and I'm just thrilled that we get to do this every week. It's just a bunch of old farts, except for Steph. We're all old. She's not.
Dustin, what are you talking about? Dustin's younger than me.
Dustin's the youngster, I know, but I'm trying to be nice and respectful of your ladyship.
No, I'm an old scumbag like you two idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
Next year is season 10. That's 10 years.
10 years of this show. Can you friggin' believe that?
No, I cannot
10 years.
believe that.
I can't either. It went by so fast.
It really did.
When we come back next year, we're going to have pretty much the same format. We're going to keep experimenting, having fun stuff, and having guests on, and pretty much going to try over the next 2 or 3 weeks to revamp the Patreon. So, stay tuned. I know I've said that before, but for real, stay tuned. Speaking of Patreon, our Patreon is patreon.com/Tim Andrews. And you can go there and sign up at any level you want and have access to our weekly show, Radios with the Lights Off When No One's Looking. And that comes out every Wednesday, except for during this holiday season. That'll come back after the holidays. And but that's a fun show. We want to start next year, maybe having people come on, radios and stuff, and people that are Patreon members. But anyway, you can sign up at any level and have access to that. If you sign up at the $25 level a month, you become a Radio Labyrinth executive producer. So it's sort of like your show. You're the reason we continue doing it this way. And you're a part of it as much as we are. So thank you very much to our executive producers, John Allen, Matt Carter, Chris Chandler, Mike D, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Roby Neely, Jeff Peterson, Tip Slayton, and Brian and DJ Chelsea Smith. And thank you very much to our sponsors who've been with us for a really long time. I'm talking about LDI Repro Printing, who've been sponsoring us for years. Also, Atlanta Pizza in Gyro, Mike Hall, thank you so much. We very much appreciate it, and you make some damn good pizza. And if you live in the Atlanta area, head on over to Conyers and try Atlanta Pizza and Gyro, because you're not going to regret it at all. And when the weather's nice, maybe the pizza truck will come to you in your house, unless you have a skillet in your yard like that freak in Steph's neighborhood.
You saw it for yourself.
I did see it. There's no point to it. It's just like this fucking dead thing. I'll be scared. But other than that, Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll talk to you in 2025. Anybody have anything they want to add?
I just wanted to piggyback on what you said. Just thank you to everybody who listens or watches every week. I'm always surprised that anybody gives a shit at all.
Yeah.
I know, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, all the new subscribers, everybody that's encouraged the YouTube channel portion of this, growing the last few years, and I enjoy doing it. I mean, it's what keeps me sane, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to talking to you guys every week. It's
Same, man.
highlight
Same.
of my life.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't ever have time to hang out with people. This is my hangout generally.
Yeah, you guys are my friends. I don't have any.
Aw.
I don't hang out. Sometimes I'll hang out with Sean and Lisa, who were friends of the show. And in fact, if you go back to the archives, you can find an episode we did at their house. I wouldn't recommend it, but no, I go see them from time to time, and it's nice to get out. But this is I get to chill with my friends and talk about TV and shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Even
I
though
love
Jeff's
it.
long most of the time, right, Jeff?
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. So happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2025. Until that time, please remember to keep
it canon.
Well, they say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the rain.